Hi there, in this video we're going to redraw the Instagram logo. Okay, rounded corners, we're going to look at corner options, we're going to look at this rad gradient in the background, you can see him there. Alright, let's go and build it now in Adobe Illustrator. Okay, so to get started, let's go to File and Open, and we are going to open up in your exercise files, logo exercise, there's a folder, there's one called To Instagram. Click Open. Remember, I've got a layers set up for you, there's a background layer. Turn the eyeball on and off, that's what we're going to trace, and we're going to be working on this redraw layer, so just make sure it is blue. Cool, so we'll start with the outer square. We're going to grab and hold down this tool here, we're going to grab the rectangle tool. Okay, and in terms of fill and a stroke, I'm going to have no fill, so this little red line, and the stroke's going to be black and 1 point. And I'm going to start on the outside here, try and guess it, and drag it out. Now remember, holding down shift while I'm dragging gives me a perfect rectangle. I'm going to try and guess it there. All right, grab your black arrow, you have to grab the edge, okay, and try and line things up. You can use your keyboard, okay, I'm just using the keys on my keyboard just to bump it around to get it close. Cool, so that works for me. Next is the corners, so with my black arrow and this line around the outside selected, I can grab this in a bit, just drag it until we feel like it lines up. Perfect. All right, so that's going to be the inside line. Next we'll do this guy in the inside here. So I'm going to copy and paste him. So edit, copy, edit, paste. But it kind of just puts it in the middle of the screen. A nicer way to do it is to go edit, copy, but then edit something called paste in place. Nothing looks like it happens, but there's now just two copies right on top of each other. It means now when I scale it, it's kind of right in the position I need it to be. So holding down shift and scaling the corner will do whatever, from whatever corner down. But if you hold shift and option on a Mac or alt on a PC, it'll scale in from the center. Now, there's a couple of things you need to know when you are scaling, especially when you've done this kind of like corner thing. Okay, so if I have nothing selected, there are times where you want the scale corners to work and sometimes you don't want them to work. Okay, so in this case, watch this. By default, it's off, right? So if I have it this and I scale it down, look what's going to happen. I'm going to get down and you can see it eventually turns into a circle because it's trying to remember the radius you had out here. So you might want to turn on scale corners. So when it gets smaller, they scale along with your your shrinking or your transformation. So there's times for both. Both of them don't work in this this instance, okay, because they've done like a special radius in the middle here. So I'm just trying to get it so it is almost I'm just trying to line it up in the middle of this white line here. Now what you might find is under view, there's one called Smart Guides. That can be really helpful sometimes and real painful sometimes. It's really painful when you're doing really small adjustments. I'm just doing this. And the weird thing about this logo, it's maybe I've got a bung version, but it's a little bit taller. It's not square. It's square on the outside, but not in the center here. That either annoys me, I don't know. They've got a way up anyway. So I'm going to drag it down. I could drag it down and then drag it at the top here. Okay, but what you can do is you can hold down Alt and drag both of them. Okay, can you see the top gets bigger and smaller at the same time? That doesn't make much sense, but you get the idea, right? So I've got the lines lining up. Now go off, back with my black arrow, grab these dots and kind of drag them in until they feel like they're in the center there. Awesome, so that'll be that guy. Let's click and hold down the rectangle tool. Let's do the center part. Thing with the ellipse tool is normally you drag from the top kind of right down. That's how people do it. If you hold down the Alt key on a Mac, Alt key on a PC, or Option key on a Mac, it drags from the center. And if you hold Shift as well, you kind of get a perfect circle. I'm not pretending that's right in the middle. I was kind of just hoping it there. What I can do is select everything with my black arrow. Over here in my properties panel, I'm going to go to align center. That's it. I might go align vertically as well. Cool. All right, so we've got most of the bits. I'm going to draw this guy out, start from the center, holding Shift and Alt on a PC or Option on a Mac. It's all looking pretty good. The easy bits, let's do this line in the center here. Okay, I'm just going to leave it as black for the moment and just keep increasing the weight of it. Wait until I feel like we've got it. Yep, this one here, increase this up as well until I feel like we got it. The different weights, so there we go. This guy here is just going to have a fill color. Okay, so no stroke around the outside, and we're going to have a fill of, say, it's going to be white. Okay, awesome. I'm going to change these two to white now as well. So I've shift clicked both of them. Black arrow, click the first one, hold shift on your keyboard, click the second one, and over here you guys are now going to be white. All right, now the interesting part is the gradient on the inside. So I'm going to select this outside guy, and I want no stroke now. And I want a fill color. We're going to start with just this plain old gradient. Okay, it's an ugly old linear black to white gradient. What you might find if you've just done that is that yours might be like this in front of everything. You might have to select it and go to arrange and go to center back. Cool. So let's look at the colors. First of all, we'll get the colors, then we'll apply them. Okay, so stealing colors from a logo, we use the eyedropper tool. And I got nothing selected. Okay, so I've got my black arrow clicked in the background. I'm going to grab my eyedropper tool and I'm going to select the center. It looks like the radial, like a radial kind of coming out of here. So I'm going to find the center of it. And you can see down here, it's picked that color. Use the eyedropper tool. Over here, my fill, I'm going to do is, see this little turned up new page thing? Okay, this is new swatch. I'm going to give it a name. I'm not going to give it a name. I'm just going to click OK. You'll see it appears as like a pre-mixed swatch. This is going to be handy later on. So back to the eyedropper tool, I'm going to click this outside color. Okay, back to properties, and I'm going to click on here. I'm going to say add to swatches. I'm not going to worry about the naming. And then there's kind of like an intermediary color. And this is a bit of a guess, right? So eyedropper tool, I'm going to pick this kind of red. Looks like it's about there in between. Back to properties. You, my friend, are now part of the game. All right, so I got 3 colors. Now I want to apply them to this gradient. So with it selected, okay, with my black arrow, go to window. Let's go to gradient. And in here, we're going to go from linear to radial. And that's kind of part of it. Let's move the box out of the way. I grabbed that little slip along the top there to move it. Now we're going to use the gradient tool. There it is there. Okay, because the center of rotation is in the center. And what I want to do is grab the middle, okay, and drag it to roughly where it looks like it is in the logo there. Now this outside option here, I just drag it to the right and kind of increases it. I'm going to increase it. I'm just guessing again. Looks like it kind of wraps into there. Cool. Now this bit comes into play. So I've got, it starts at white and ends in black. So what I'm going to do is double click the white box, okay, and say it starts with you. Click back off, double click the black box, and it ends with you. Okay, now we need to put in a middle gradient. It's really easy. Anywhere along this line, well, anyway, I'm going to put it in the middle. You can see my cursor changes to the white arrow with the plus. Okay, adds another swatch. Okay, you can delete it by dragging it off, okay, if you accidentally do it. But I got it selected. I'm going to double click it, and I'm going to say, there's my magic middle gradient. And it's not bad. It's pretty close, right? I'm kind of looking back and forth. Yeah, it looks all right. All right, that is how to redraw the Instagram logo in Illustrator CC. All right, let's get on to the next logo redraw.